Hello friends, welcome back to the CSCI. This is our third lecture of our first chapter of uh, web technologies. So in this chapter we are going to discuss some important questions and important points. So the first question we are going to discuss is some some ways in which style sheets can be combined with HTML. So there are three primary ways to combine style sheets with HTML: inline styles, second is internal styles, and third is external styles. In internal styles, this method involves adding CSS rules directly into the HTML element using the style attribute. For example, this is the sample code for inline styles example. Next is internal styles. This method involves adding CSS rules within the style element in the head section of the HTML document. For example, see this code. In this, we are adding the CSS rules within the style element, which is in the head section. Next are external styles. This method involves linking an external CSS file to the HTML using the link element in the head section. For example, this code. In this code, we have a different CSS file which is linked using a link tag. So here is the CSS file and here is the HTML, which these both are connected. These are three primary ways to combine style sheets with HTML. Next, we will see some examples of transition and animation. First of all, what is transition? Transitions allow us to control the speed and timing of changes to an element's style. We can use transitions to create smooth and visually appealing effects when an element's properties change. For example, hover effect. This is an example of HTML, and this is the CSS file. So in this HTML file created a button which is an anchor tag. Also, we can link a website or any page using that anchor tag. Next, we gave some CSS attributes using the CSS file. In this example, when we hover over the button, the background color and text color will change smoothly over a period of 0.5 seconds. Next example is fade in effect. In this is the HTML. In HTML, we created a div. This is the CSS file. This is the JavaScript file. In this example, the text will fade in over a period of 2 seconds when the class show is added to the element. Next, animation. Animations allow us to create more complex and dynamic effects by defining a sequence of styles and timing. First example is bouncing ball. First, we create a div and give it a class name. Next, we give some CSS properties using a CSS file and using keyframes. This is the syntax of giving a animation. In this example, the ball will bounce up and down indefinitely over a period of 2 seconds. Next example is loading spinner. For this, we create a div. Inside it, we again create a div, and we give CSS properties using a CSS file in this manner. Spinner class, then inner spinner class, then animation properties. In this example, the loading spinner will rotate indefinitely over a period of 1 second. Next is sliding menu. So this is how we define a sliding menu using this HTML file, CSS file and JavaScript file. In this example, the menu will slide in and out of view when the button is clicked with a smooth transition effect over a period of 0. Next, we will see some examples which will help us understand the usage of div and span element. First, div element. The div element is a block level element that is used to group elements together for styling, layout or semantic purposes. It is a generic container element that can be used to wrap other elements, and it does not have any inherent meaning or functionality. So let us see some usage examples. First is grouping elements. This is an example of HTML file in which we are depicting grouping of elements. In this example, the div element is used to group a heading, paragraph and unordered list together. Next, second is styling a section. This is a HTML file. In this example, the div element is used to create a styled container with a background color, padding and border. Next is creating a layout. See this HTML file. In this example, the div element is used to create a basic layout with a header, content area and footer. Next we will see span element. The span element is an inline element that is used to group inline elements together for styling or semantic purposes. It is a generic inline container element that can be used to wrap other inline elements, and it does not have any inherent meaning or functionality. Coming to its usage examples, first is styling a portion. Styling a portion of text. This is a HTML file which shows that the span element is used to style a single word with a paragraph of text. Second, highlighting important text. See this HTML file. In this example, the span element is used to highlight important text within a paragraph. Next, creating an inline button. In this example, the span element is used to create an inline button with a styled background color, text color and padding. In summary, the div element is used for block level grouping and styling, while the span element is used for inline grouping and styling. Next we will see few important points. First is float property. The float property in CSS is used to take an element out of the normal document flow and place it to the left or right of its parent element, allowing other elements to wrap around it. Next, let us differentiate block elements and inline elements. Block elements occupy the full width of their parent and start on a new line. Example of block elements are div, paragraph, h1 tag, etc. While inline elements occupy only the space needed for their content and do not start on a new line. Example, span tag, span element, anchor element, image element. These are all examples of inline elements. Next, what are different background properties? The different background properties in CSS are background color, background image, background repeat, background attachment, background position and background size. This all can be combined into the shorthand property background. Next, what is Bootstrap and a general framework? Bootstrap is a popular front-end framework that provides predefined HTML, CSS, and JavaScript components to quickly build responsive, mobile-first, and visually appealing web applications. While a general framework is a set of pre-built components, tools, and structures that provide a foundation for building applications, allowing developers to focus on writing code rather than starting from scratch. Now, what are few HTTP status codes? Some HTTP status codes are 200 OK, 404 which means not found, 500 which means internal server error, 301 it means moved permanently, 401 which means unauthorized, and 403 which means forbidden.